Let's see the future industries and the future jobs in technology, right? So industries are moving from traditional brick and mortar model to digital world. As I said earlier in the introduction, with this coronavirus effect, with this COVID effect, we can see how fast the world has adapted to the situation and kept economies running. The services industry is still running. There is definitely an economic impact, but not as bad as we anticipated because of technology, right? And I believe this whole situation has only speed up the digital adoption across different industries. Again, as I said before, have you ever imagined you could do full-time online classes before? I never thought so. I mean, it also imbibed certain responsibility on every user, right? And though there are challenges in this step forward to future, right? With this kind of shift, people are scared mostly of, again, as I said before, automation replacing millions of jobs. In one of the Forbes articles on World Economic Forum's reports on future jobs, it is mentioned that 130 million new jobs will be created. Of course, there is a downside. It would eliminate 75 million jobs, which would be obsolete, right? Because everything is moving to the latest technologies like AI, machine learning, and advancements in the hardware industry. With all these new advancements, there would be new jobs created, which would require new type of skills. That means it would obsolete our older skills. Having said that, it would also obsolete certain type of jobs. With all this data available from different sources like this and tons of optimism from me, I believe that it would only replace menial jobs that people don't usually like to do. For example, picking up trash. Who wants to pick up trash, right? Imagine if only we could eliminate that and automate it. That person can find a new type of job, right? He could acquire new skill and get a new type of job. So it would eliminate jobs, not just trash picking, of course, like anything that can be automated, which is a good thing because it would eliminate the grunt work, like hard work, and people can focus on improving their quality of life by acquiring new skills and getting into new type of jobs. And also, if you think about it, AI or automation can never, ever replace human interaction, which is the core of the humanity, right? Like, remember how annoyed you got last time when you got onto a call with customer care and an automated machine answers your call and you have to say your name like 10 or 50 times. Like every time I pick up, I call a customer care, an automated machine would answer, and I just get annoyed because I need that human interaction, right? And can you imagine a robot teaching a class or creating any new thing? I don't know. In my opinion, that is something that AI or any other technological advancement could never replace. Having said that, there are and will be more new type of jobs which might obsolete our traditional skills and which would bring us to a pertinent question now. That is, are we ready for future? What kind of jobs would there be and what kind of skills do we need to acquire to catch this new wave? To understand that, let's examine what type of skills are necessary. In any industry, as you see in this diagram, in this right side diagram, you can see there is a software, hardware, and the core business, right? There is the software simulation running, and there is a lot of core knowledge, right? Like if you have to simulate a ship, you need to understand a lot of things. Like you need to have a huge understanding in physics, mathematics, and marine engineering, all that, right? And the same applies to electronics too. If you want to simulate some electrical device and how it behaves, you have to have all that core knowledge too, right? So, in my opinion, in any industry, an amalgamation or the combination of software, hardware, and the core knowledge is where the advancements are happening. Like in this diagram, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but this point, this point where all these things are meeting is where that is the sweet spot, right? That is where there is a huge scope for advancement. And that is where the advancements are currently happening too. To sustain in this 21st century business model where there is, perfect, where there is like need for software, hardware, and this core business knowledge, right? We have to, and we must adapt to 21st century skills, which are digital literacy. By that, I mean not just knowing how to use your phones or your laptop, or it is great that you're using it on everyday basis, and I'm very thankful that the technology has made these things very affordable, right? But we have to, as future generation, we should know to use them wisely, right? Right? I mean, you can use them for entertainment, like TikTok and videos and all that, but it is more than that. These computers in your hands are more than that. They're like, I would say they're like your Bible, right? It depends on how you use it. So that's what digital literacy means. And it is also good to have the fundamental understanding of how computers work and the major components that are involved in it, like how the internet is working. So these are like our physics, right? I mean, everybody knows what gravity is. Everybody knows how it works. So computers and or like how internet works, these should be like that. So they should be the basics, the fundamentals. Everybody should know. Um, and also from former U.S. President Obama to industry leaders like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they have been very vocal about making programming a must-have skill, and they're also big on including it in school curriculum, right? Teaching it from childhood as any other science. And other important skills are the transferable skills, right? Which are not by transferable skills or soft skills. These are not specific to a particular job or area of knowledge, right? But it can be used in wide variety of situations and work settings. So with this skill, you can go into banking. You can set up your own, probably a grocery store, and you can grow that, right? So these are like, I would call it, with my personal experience, these soft skills are the life skills. This will help you big time. Like no matter how good you are in your own field, and how good of a technology person you are, if you lack these transferable or soft skills, I would say you're no good. Yeah, your growth would be very limited. So yeah, these are the life skills that you have to acquire. And finally, which is very important, right? That is the core industry knowledge. Whether you're in, as I said earlier, whether you're a teacher or a doctor or a neurosurgeon or a civil engineer or mechanical engineer, that core industry knowledge is your bread and butter. So these are the skills that we should acquire. And according to UNICEF's report in 2019, which is very disheartening. These numbers are very disheartening for me, because it is a fact. I know it, right? By 2030, they say 47% of Indian youth would lack job skills, which makes us question our formal education, right? Because if you think about it, you might ask, hey, what does that mean? I'm spending all this money, I'm spending all this time, and I acquire no skills. That is bad, right? And why, you might ask, why in that if that is the case, why should I go to college? Why should I get all these degrees if I'm going to lack job skills? Which is, I mean, it's not just in India. This is a problem in most of the developing nations, that they aren't able to amend their education systems to include new skills. But I was very happy to know from my professors like Samir Chakravarti sir and other people that the curriculum is slowly changing in higher education, which is a good news that they are including more newer technologies slowly, which is a good thing, right? Actually, it's not just in developing countries. As a matter of fact, from my own experience interviewing a lot of fresh graduates from colleges in United States who are Gen Zs like you, right? From developing nations like United States, also complain about skill gap in formal education. They also complain about it. You might think, oh, like students in America have got it all, but no, that's not the fact. They got is the awareness that these skills are important, but even for them, they are not like colleges are not teaching these skills in school. They have to go to the secondary avenues like online courses or boot camps to acquire these skills. But because of huge push and motivation from community and industry leaders, here in United States, the thing that I observed is that they are big on community, right? Like people come together to work together, like people from different industries come to colleges and they bring this kind of awareness to students that these are the important skills. This is where you have to put more of your effort, right? Because of this huge awareness of these skills, they're acquiring these skills through alternative avenues like boot camps and online courses, which are available to us as well, right? I mean, being in India, we have internet, we have access to internet. If the formal education has failed to give us these skills, that shouldn't stop us from acquiring these skills. We have to find a way to acquire it.